My name is Marisa Caichiolo. I'm the founder and director of Building Bridges Art Exchange in Bergamo Station, Santa Monica. Building Bridges started as a small project, creating these conversations about diversity now. I study art history and curatorial studies in Argentina and the University of Buenos Aires, and I had a long career into the contemporary art, and I decided to start working, trying to get a platform or create a platform and a space to generate this dialogue, basically giving the space to everybody to participate, to create, to co-create. We can talk for hours about contemporary and conceptual art, but there is no that easy to have access or the connection with whatever the artists have to say and the connection with the general public and the community. To bring that connection with education, and by the way, the exhibition that we have right now here is with the University of Applied Arts in Vienna, Austria, and UCLA. Santa Monica is this fresh air, is this place with a lot of opportunities, people coming into town, and they're not leaving LA without coming to Santa Monica. We had a very good access to the community, to the colleges, and to the general public. It's open to everybody, and that's what we really embrace. This is one of the rules of the organization, because Building Bridges is about that, and it's about education. In the moments that you give a kid a tool to create, it has power. With creativity, they can act.
My name is Jacob Jonas, and I'm the artistic director and founder of Jacob Jonas, the company. So it's a big mission of mine in creating my company to not just create my own personal work, but to also make dance as a medium more valuable and visible. And one of the initiatives that we've started as an organization is to create a dance festival that takes place annually. We'll be doing the 3rd annual To the Sea dance concerts on the pier, where we invite choreographers and dance companies locally, nationally and internationally to present work on the pier to new audiences, essentially. This has been really something I'm proud of, to make Santa Monica that platform where the best artists get to share their work, and so many residents of Santa Monica get to see it, and also tourists and people from around the county of Los Angeles get to be visible to seeing this incredible work. As a curator, I'm really excited to be presenting work that's not just concert dance, but it also includes the street dance culture in which I grew up in, as well as the circus world. Fusing all those kind of worlds together is something that makes me really excited. The first time we did it, I was hoping that like 300 to 400 people would show up, and almost 1,000 people showed up every night for 3 nights in a row. I've gotten so much great support and feedback from this event. It's something I'm really proud of. Always in the back of my head, am I so lucky to say that I'm from Santa Monica. There's so much that the city has to offer. I feel proud to be raised and born here, and to be contributing my art and experiences to the city.
When I found out I was nominated, it was just crazy, because I didn't know that just my passion for art could lead me to this amazing opportunity. Just being in Santa Monica has inspired me, because there's just so many amazing people and so many amazing places that offer these opportunities. I'm really grateful to have grown up in this area. I've had so many teachers and educators that have inspired me. I can tell how hard they've worked to really impact other people's lives, and I decided that I wanted to do that as well. I'm also captain of 2 of the dance teams at my school. The first one is Dance Combination Club Hip Hop, and I'm actually co-captain with my friend Gabby Torres. We decided to really have an outlet for the students who feel like they don't have a place to be themselves, or who just want to get away from all the hard things in their life. We welcome everyone, no auditions are needed. I'm also co-captain of Minions dance team with 2 other people, and I'd say that's more advanced, like intermediate advanced dance team. I recently did a dance about bullying about a year ago. That was like my first ever choreography being put on a stage, and I was told by so many parents that it really touched them, and I think it really is important to send a message through dance. Promoting awareness about these type of topics through art is so important, because not only you are expressing the art and the passion, but you are conveying these important topics that need to be talked about.
I'm a Santa Monica High School student. I'm a senior. I do a couple art things around SAMO, so I'm the executive producer of the SAMO Highlights, the school TV news show that we do. I sometimes illustrate for the school newspaper, the SAMO High. I'm in the art department at SAMO and the film department, and I'm on the advisory board for the 18th Street Art Gallery. Growing up in Santa Monica, I feel super lucky. I have really great art teachers at SAMO High. There's a lot of just parent support out there. Santa Monica Education Foundation, I know, donates a lot of money to the art department, and so I definitely feel supported and lucky that I've grown up here. Lately, I've been thinking such a big part of doing art, no matter the medium, is having your audience be a part of it, right? Yes, personal expression is super important, but what's the point, right? You know, you have to have an impact, you have to have people engaged. So I really want to learn how I can get more community involved with it. How can I get more people to be a part of my art? How can my art speak to them in a more direct way? And I think Santa Monica is such a receptive community with that, and so it's such a great place where I can try to work on that and have people, you know, encouraging me and wanting to be a part of the art that me or any other student is making. For a while, I was scared to kind of commit to art, right? Because it's like such a specific niche of people and world, and I was kind of afraid that I wouldn't be fulfilled in, you know, making policy change or helping my community and stuff like that. And I'm learning this year that art is like the perfect way to do all of that stuff, and plenty of intelligent and creative and really smart people that are making an impact are in the arts. And so I'd love to be part of the art world that's really trying to make a change in their community.
Chamber Music series came about when I met Cheryl Meyerson. She had a background in the arts, and it was sort of an homage to my grandfather, who was a huge fan of chamber music. He was one of the founders of the Music Guild. Even back in the late 30s and 40s, when we were running just single-screen theaters, he would use the theaters for chamber music concerts. So I wanted to bring a little bit of that back. There's a richness in the community when you can support the arts, when you can when there are opportunities for people to express themselves as artists, but also interact with people who just appreciate what they're doing.
The most important part of my work is when we put on a show. If we have a show that starts at 11 and the doors open at 10:30, 10:40, and everyone's coming in, it's showtime, that's it. When the music starts, when the audience is reacting, we're transported, and we all leave a little bit changed. So to me, that's why I do it. That's the most important part. For Art in the Art House, it's the same thing. And it's just exciting to see new artists get their work shown and to get the, you know, that thrill of recognition.
I think the most important part of the work that we do is provide opportunity. And that's something that we do, of course, just with the film programming that we do, giving artists who've made movies an opportunity to connect their film with an audience. And really, Laemmle Arts, Art in the Art House, Laemmle Live is just an extension of that.
People want to be together. I mean, when people come to the movies, it's the shared experience of sitting in a movie theater. And I would say that's the same for going to a concert or going to an art show. So when we're filled up with 120 people in here and we're hearing a beautiful string quartet, we're all sharing that experience in the moment. There's nothing like it. I mean, to me, that's just the ultimate experience. And you can see it on our audience's faces. They are transported and excited. And that, if I'm doing that, you know, I'm succeeding. That's my job. It makes me feel great. I live to do it. The city of Santa Monica is noticing what we're doing. It's exciting.
If you're truly part of the community, you need to give something back. So I'd like to think that Laemmle is being recognized this year, and I hope that next year some other businesses that are active in Santa Monica take that as an inspiration to do their own work and try and do what we do. Just do it better. or do it more.
Now, therefore, I, Gleam Davis, on behalf of the entire City Council and the City of Santa Monica, do hereby proclaim the month of April 2019 as Arts Month.
I'm here tonight to talk to you about how art inspires and nurtures us, and we're here to celebrate the arts in Santa Monica. And one of the things I want to highlight is an event we're having tomorrow night, which is the Arts Leadership Awards.
In 1982, the City of Santa Monica formed an Arts Commission to advise City Council on arts and culture policy in the city. And as a result of that, in 1983, the City Council formed the Santa Monica Arts Foundation, which is a private nonprofit that exists to support the city's Cultural Affairs Office as well as the Arts Commission. We're at an exciting time for the foundation. It's recently been reinvigorated with a lot of new board members. We look forward to seeing how the foundation can grow and expand its support for the arts and creativity in Santa Monica.
The Arts Leadership Awards started in 2013, and after a couple years hiatus, we're back and we're going to be better than ever. This year for the Arts Leadership Awards, we're going to be making it open to the public, and we're also going to be having really cool performances, which is going to make it a really special event for the city. And I think it'll really cement our reputation as an artistically vibrant and important place to be, and a place that people want to come and make great art and be part of a great public art experience.
We are here tonight to honor the 2019 Arts Leadership Awardees. We're so excited.
We're really here to celebrate the arts in Santa Monica and what it brings to the city and to people and the experiences that people have through the arts.
So it runs the gamut from businesses that support the arts, artists that are doing work in the community, young people, and then people that are really focused on serving individual artists.
Now, the focus isn't so much on the people's artwork specifically, but what they're doing in the arts and how they're pushing the arts forward in and throughout the city of Santa Monica.
I think art is a window to the past, to the present, and to the future. It really combines all three. Artists have an element like philosophers of curiosity. If you are not curious, you don't make something new. Curiosity and also doubt, like the Greek philosophers, they thought doubt was one of the most important elements in life, because if you doubt something, you try to figure it out and you build on that. So artists, every artist has the right to create what they like. Some focus on the past, some on the present, some on the future. The art evolves itself all the time. It's really dynamic, it's really flourishing. It's evolves and grows and changes, and it's fantastic. It's like air, you know? It's like the air.
This is about the fourth day for me here. I'm completely new. I've been working from my home. This is a next step for me, a big step to have a studio. And I'm really excited to have found this wonderful, thriving community, and working with other artists. That's what I'm looking forward to, so we can exchange and support and help each other. And I'm very excited to be part of it. I've done a series of 20 pieces, and they were done while I was in India. Most of the pieces, the content of the work is to do with issues that I'm very concerned and involved with, my ideas about the world, the discrepancies and the inequalities that are happening in the world. And so they were a way for me to bring those issues out and share them with other people. My ultimate goal as an artist is to be an agent of change, to be part of the solution. Through my work, I want to communicate with people. I want people to question the world around them and to come to their own conclusions. We have a common ground. We have more in common with each other than not.
Well, we're having a festival, you know, everybody's showing their work, and so we're doing ceramics, and we're part of the ArtWalk. Raku's a Japanese process, really quick firing. It only takes an hour and a half to fire it, or an hour, depends how hot it is. We put them in paper or hay or sawdust to catch fire, and then it makes the clay black. This is a sample that we made, and you can see the inside's all black. That's clay. Doesn't have any glaze. So you can see on the outside it's all black. That's no glaze. So these are samples. I do mostly metal, and I started doing ceramics about 5 years ago. So I feel like I'm in first or second grade. My friends say, "You can't say that anymore." I said, "Are you sure?" So I'm bringing a little sculpture to it, but clay is new to me. There's so much to learn. I feel like I'm just beginning.
Nature is inspiring me all the time. I grew up in Russia, and I always was walking around and look around and touching everything, and I love to pick like wood sticks, rocks and everything and collect them. It's my nature. I just have tons of it right now at home. So, and I try to attach it to the like to do something that I can express myself, to show people what I'm feeling when I like see nature. So I'm using the mushrooms, beetles, and attach the wood sticks to almost everything right now. This is called raku firing. So we heat up the kiln, our kiln in the studio, 1840 degrees. And we open the kiln and take the pieces. They're very hot and red. And put it in a paper, so organic starts firing and smoking, and this gives this black colors of the clay. I'm using porcelain, so it gives brighter color for glaze and darker black for unglazed places. I graduated in Russia as an art teacher. So when I moved here with my husband, we start working together as a mural artist. So we work like 10 years for like murals work. And I just decided that I need to do something more. I want my paint, my art moving or speaking. And I took like 4 years in Santa Monica College of animation for 4 years. Yeah, and I did like 2D animation and 3D animation. Like I love it, but I want to touch my stuff. I want to use it every day. So one day I just, oh my God, it's so cool, I have to take a class. And I took the class, so 4 years ago. And I stopped doing any animation. It's just, this is my life right now. This is just like I doing clay every day, every single day. I cannot live without it. So yeah.
Art is fundamental to being a human. From when we first picked up clay and rocks and started making things, we started painting. It's necessary for our soul. It's how we express ourselves, how we think about things, how we express our spirituality, our appreciation. Just like dance, it's something that humans have always needed and always done, but we've forgotten that. And we're in this horrible age where people think like somehow art is useless or elitist, and it's really for everyone. Art is for everybody. It helps you think, feel, express yourself, whether you're doing it or looking at it. Art is there to make us think and question, and that's what it's for.
I want to surround myself with beautiful things and things that make me happy. That's one of the motivations in my work, to be joyful. So I use a lot of color, and that's just, my choice of how I want to live. I primarily work on paper, but I've recently switched to canvas. I go back and forth between, like, oh, I should really work on canvas more. And then I think, okay, no, I'm back to paper. I have pieces that range from little tiny minis that are 7 by 9 inches to great big canvases. And I'm not afraid of color. It's a very colorful studio and really representative of my aesthetic, which is kind of very influenced by mid-century modern architecture and design. I strive to capture what I feel, so my work really tries to represent memories, feelings, as opposed to just what I see. This is my 3rd ArtWalk, and it's a great event. It's actually the event that I probably, throughout the year, I sell the most work, the bulk of my work at this event.
I've done that before.
I'm the managing director of the Ruskin Group Theater Company. I run the Ruskin School of Acting, and I also chair the Santa Monica Arts Commission.
Stella, I can only handle one crisis at a time. Now you listen to me.
The Ruskin Group Theater is the finest off-runway theater in town. And we're committed to producing world premiere plays and reviving neglected pieces of the past, as well as doing revivals.
You did what? He declared himself a conscientious objector to the war while he was there.
I think a good professional theater brings in the community. And I think that's what's important about any art, is bringing in the community. And I'd like to see our community connect more. We just celebrated our 17th anniversary. And our last play, we had Jason Alexander from Seinfeld direct it, because, on a whim, we asked him.
You are not going to stand in the audience watching other people do things. Stella, you are a card
hard-carrying, estrogen-oozing, birth-giving, ferocious female warrior who has as much right to be up on that stage as anyone else.
We've been very lucky to have some of the best of the best of the best work here. You know, we're about to open Death of a Salesman starring Rob Morrow, and Gethin Anthony from Game of Thrones is in it as well. We go out and we say, what's it gonna take to get this? Like, you know, because we always say to people, like, we're not the fanciest theater. We say we're not gonna have the biggest budgets, but what we can promise you is that you're gonna have an experience. You know, you're gonna have a good time. And people come in here and they have an experience, right? And they hang out and they talk about the plays and, you know, Death of a Salesman, which is still so relevant today. You know, every time Willy Loman says you know, you work a lifetime to pay off a house and then there's nobody to live in it. It's like, you know, we all resonate to that today. I mean, it's like, talk about Santa Monica, right? We're talking about people feel like I'm not being heard, like, you know, nobody understands me, right? And I think that the arts have that ability to, you know, they step across party lines, you know? The people that I have that have made this theater happen, politically, sometimes they couldn't be more different. And whether or not they vote the same way I vote, it doesn't mean that we don't also believe in things that make the world a better place. That's what I love about the arts, is just the different people that you bring in. Good live theater asks a lot of questions, right? And lets the audience try to ponder for themselves the answers, right? And sometimes there is no answers, there's just all these questions. For us, it's also interesting too, because as artists, like, what we do is so dependent on people responding to it. You have to have thick skin, right? So it's like, so we as artists have to ask questions of ourselves too. I'm gonna make fun of you, 'cause that's the American way. That's the arts in a nutshell, right? We're striving to do something more. Like, we're not saying we've got it down.
Part of the American dream. Bigger is better. Ain't that right, Ezra? Preach, brother, preach.
The best way to support theater is to go see a show. Death of a Salesman opens June 21st and runs through July. It is going to move you, I promise you that.
I live in Santa Monica for about 20 years. I'm from Italy, born and raised in Italy. Today, during the ArtWalk, we have also at the Arena 1 Gallery the opening of this exhibition called Between Two Seas. Southern Italy meets South California with 9 artists, 9 Italian contemporary artists from Puglia, to promote an international visual dialogue between culture. And I would like to see many artists, but also filmmakers involved all over the world.
I am Alberto Vannetti. I come from Apulia, from Italy, from this land, truly. And I am a director of MAC, Archaeological Museum and Contemporary Art in Cisternino. It's a little village in Apulia, only 12,000 citizens, just a little. It's a big important for us. Come in Los Angeles, in Santa Monica, it's a big land, a big metropolis. For us it's very important to exchange the culture. Contemporary art is an important instrument. I want to invite in Apulia all the people, American people, especially from Santa Monica and Los Angeles, to see this magic land. This is magic land. In Italian is enclave, with many thousands of truly rural architecture, and the architect Michele Camporeale explained better this concept of the architect.
I am Michele Camporeale. I am an architect, and I live and project in south of Italy, in Cisternino. It's very important, this architecture, because it's the unique in the world as an example of sustainable and organic architecture.
The architecture structure of these traditional houses called trulli only exists in that area.
This is my house.
They're beautiful place, and he have this structure when last year in July the California artist went to Cisternino. Michele accommodate them in this beautiful place, and you can imagine the joy of this American artist to be there in this beautiful, historical, earthy. I miss it.
I like to say I used my camera to create art. I used to be a more traditional photographer, did travel, photographed with documentary crews in places like Liberia and Bhutan, and it was amazing, beautiful images, beautiful places. But after I had my fourth child, I was very, very sick and I couldn't travel anymore. And one day I was walking down my alley and someone had drained their swimming pool, and the way the light was reflecting off the water, it looked like a stream in Colorado. It was so beautiful. I went and grabbed this macro lens I'd always had and started photographing it. At that moment, I realized that everything I was looking for was right here. I didn't need to go anywhere. That anything could be transformed. Everything around us had some inherent beauty, mystery, something to teach us, something to show us. And I started collecting all sorts of shells and weeds and beach glass and scrap metal, and building these tiny little sculptures and photographing them using natural light and water over time. Some of the work I have hung today are these little sculptures of weeds and dandelions woven together that I drop drops of water through and then let decay over time. And they take on this character. They almost look like, I like to call them ephemeral talisman or creatures. There's sort of this otherworldly sort of thing about them. I think it's just that we walk around and see these things and don't ever really see them. I'm really passionate about really looking, really seeing.
So see, you can see then what I do after I paint it, then I might wash more. It's nice to be around other artists and make friends with them and bounce ideas off of them. It feeds my soul. So I'll never not do it. It's just who I am. My artwork is color and shape oriented, and I'm also in love with hair. And I also do abstract work. The faces are blank in my pieces because it's about shape and color rather than a lot of small information. Everybody can do art and can feel what it's like to do it and appreciate it for what it is. And they can also learn how to see and how to mix color and how to juxtapose color and things like that. My 4-year-old grandson has been painting with me since he was 2, and he uses my acrylic paints, and he knows not to take the brush and stick it on his head, and he knows not to put the brush in his mouth because of the paint, but he knows how to use a paintbrush, a palette knife, and a roller to paint with. So he chooses the colors, and all I do is rotate the paper. and it's amazing. I mean, he loves it, and it's a positive, happy experience, which is what it should be. Yeah.
The arts community in Santa Monica is great because it's a small community. You know, everyone's sort of rooting for one another.
It's vital to have artists in a place like this in Santa Monica. So we don't want to see only business or mall or techno thing. It's fine, techno is important, but also artists is always been in society. They open to doors, open mind. They are the filter, the medium to make people to see things differently.
People fall in love with art, and when people have a connection with an artist and buy a piece, it's a very different experience than when you just buy a piece of art and you have no idea who made it, who created it. You've been in their studio and in their space and have talked to them about the processes. You've seen some of their materials that they use. And I also think it's important for residents and attendees to see what's happening on a daily basis behind closed doors that people aren't normally seeing.
My name is Mike Machat. I'm the artist who painted the murals that you see behind me and down the Douglas Row. I'm actually constructing the star and all the elements, and then when I do the final drawing in marker, I'll erase the pencil line and you'll see how that works. And we have Douglas XB-19 World Bomber. Thank you very much. Thank you.
It's important for artists to have space that is unstructured and a place where they can contemplate and think and create freely and out of bounds and out of the lines.
I got my first service dog. I kept thinking, one day I want to roll through a puddle of paint, have the dog walk through a puddle of paint, so I'd have memories of all the good times that he and I had together. So I finally did that one day, and all of a sudden I realized, hey, wait a minute, I can actually use the tires of my chair to paint with. Today I'm painting with my rear tire. I'm doing some circular paintings. I don't know, it just kind of moves me. It's kind of a free-flowing. I like the way the lines lay out, and then the way we can overlay the colors and still see colors through each color. I teach kids how to paint every January at the Aquarium of the Pacific, and I met this little 3-year-old last January. She just really moved me. She had so much fun out there painting. The smile was so big. So I invited her to come down today, and she's been painting with me today as well.
I love art, I love making art. I work with my artists to make art, I learn from them. I teach classes. Some of the new ones who never did art, they're actually the most artistic sense they have because they're not confined to certain element. They're free to do anything. So it's most exciting to work with them. It's a wonderful place we have here. The artists are amazing. Some of them are musicians, some of them poets. It's like I selected them one by one. Those are my friends, I'm colleague, we are working together, I'm an artist, And I realized that all my life, all 32 years, I'm calling them, my artist. That's how I feel.
I've been an artist at the Santa Monica Art Studios for about 9 years. It's just been a joy to work here. Our spaces are beautiful and we get to have shows and intermix with the programs that come through in Arena 1 Gallery and Hangar Galleries. So we get exposed to community and international community of artists and curators. Finding this community was amazing because I came from San Francisco where I had a home studio, and the exposure and the connections to other artists and community exploded here. I know a lot of artists here at the studios have gotten galleries, have become curators, have shown in international shows and sold work to collections and things. So, you know, it's a great place to be.
It's lovely to be here today and see such a crowd, a lovely crowd coming and spending time here. And I was the one who conceived the Santa Monica Art Studios 33 years ago. So I went to the city and I said I found a hangar and I would like to fix it because 1,000 artists left the city and I can bring it back. And finally I got the building, and this was the building I got. 2004 we moved into here. So we brought the architect and the contractors and we transformed this to what you see today. Thousands of people coming. So I'm very proud of this. It's a city walk, but also because we are here. I love the community. I live in this city too, and I'm really happy that they come and they're interested and they look. They bring the children, the dogs. They show great interest in art and artists. The whole place was built in this case that artists can have dialogue with the community. It was the first step. So this dialogue materialized in this format, you know, that people coming, and so I'm very excited about it. Every year is a new crowd that comes. And I'm happy that it also includes all the artists in the airport because there are amazing artists all around here. It's very exciting to coordinate, collaborate. You know, we went to each other's studios, giving bases to each other, consulting with each other, what to hang, where to put it, you know, how to arrange it. So there's a wonderful camaraderie in the airport.